But I want to give you an encouragement. I want to give you a word that God has not brought me to this time so I can be less. But God has called me to this time, church, so I can be more.
You've told me many times they live in the land of good enough. Rather than what?
More than enough.
More than enough.
Stop falling in love with just, this is what I do, this is what I do.
Stop it. Go back and fall in love with your first love again. Go back and find that experience that you once had years ago. Why? Because there's a generation waiting for you to do that. You're going through a mid-faith crisis right now.
I understand it. We're loud, right? You don't wear this much white and not try to be invisible. But
Hi, I'm Gary Zeleskys.
And I'm Zeleskys.
We want to thank you for taking a moment to view our video.
We are so excited to have this opportunity to share with you. I know that God has laid some really special thoughts and messages on our heart, and it's our desire to partner and share those with you.
I think that we get to a place in our lives, especially after we've known the Lord for a few years, that sometimes we lose a little bit of that zeal and that fire that we had when we first met Him. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think, Gary, so many of us, we just start to become numb and we start to become mundane and we expect the monotony to take over our lives. But I know that I feel like God has just shared with me that we are in the second chapter of our lives. After we've known the Lord for a period of time, we need to believe God for more, not less. We need to be progressing and taking the land and not settling for mediocrity.
I love that whole idea when you talk about believing God for something more and not less. You know, in the book of Revelation, it says that you've done all of these great things, but He said there's got one thing that I hold against you, and it's amazing. He says this: you've forgotten your first love. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in Christianity, quote unquote, that sometimes we forget why we are doing what we're doing.
Well, not only that, Gary, I think not only do we forget why we're doing what we do and what we believe, but I think that we sometimes, that moment of salvation has been so many years that we have forgotten the impact. We've forgotten to believe. And Lazarus, I was telling you, we were talking about, Lazarus was not brought back from the dead so he can sit on his porch. Lazarus was brought back from the dead so he could believe for more, not less. And I think that is just this concern and the fear that I have for our church today, is that we are believing for less, and that's just not God's plan.
Well, that's what this video is all about, how to take your Christianity to another level, especially after you've been walking with Him for a while. It's time for us to work out our salvation, but with the fire of the power of the Holy Spirit, not just going through the motions.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're really excited. Thank you for taking this time to watch our video and be with us, and I hope that we can connect with you.
Thank you.